everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts, the Super Vader 400, and of course the brown skin human come back at you with another review series. This is the intro to various Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball related videos. However, the first ones that I've already finished recording will be Broly, will be Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan movies, and Broly, then and Super Broly next. Super Broly, yeah. For those of you who wanna um the links to watch these the links to watch these movies and the links to my previous narration audio versions will be in the description box below. This is the off-camera webcam version. Off-camera webcam version. There will also be a rant on. There will also be a rant on the Super Broly movie. This is part of my new series that I debuted with Dragon Ball Evolution, where I rant on something that I actually like and enjoy. Because as much as I love Super Broly, that movie, like a lot of movies, that movie had a lot of sins, and I had 4 to 5 problems with it. So with that being said, let's get the music started and let's get these videos started right now. Hey everybody, it's time for the next part, the next and final part of my Super Broly off-camera webcam review. Once again, to see the narration, the 2 narration versions I did, I think in 2019 and 2020. Um, the links will be in the description box below. This will be the off-camera webcam version, like I said in part 1, with the movie playing in the background. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about this movie. And of course, this review is not much different from my narration reviews. Um, my opinions then of the movie are the same as my opinions now. Um, this is one of the best. This is one of the best Dragon Ball Z movies in a long time, and one of the best Dragon Ball but make no mistake about it. The only reason this movie was good was because the character of Broly is now canon. If this movie would have been like the last two, another Beerus and Frieza epic, where you try to convince me that Frieza in the post-Cell and post-Majin years of Dragon Ball Z are still a threat to the so-called Z fighters, Z fighters, especially the Super Saiyans and Super Namekians. Um, it would have been the worst movie of all time. The last one, Resurrection F, was quite possibly the worst comic book movie of all time. It doesn't get no worse than that. That's even worse than the other worst, the worst live action comic book movie of all time, and that is the Amazing Spider-Man films. It doesn't get much worse than that when it comes to Resurrection F. And Resurrection F makes the Amazing Spider-Man films seem decent in comparison. Because of how bad that was. Resurrection F, as bad as that movie was, if that movie was quote unquote just a Dragon Ball Z film separate from the main timeline, with his own original storyline, it would have been a good movie because that was supposed to be a legitimate sequel to the quote unquote Majin Buu saga. So many plot holes in one of the worst movies of all time, and that killed my interest in Dragon Ball Z. This brought me back to Dragon Ball Z. If the character Broly, the coolest character in the franchise, will be featured in more Dragon Ball adaptations from now on, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. But if once again you try to convince me that but other than that, so yeah, Broly, the coolest character in the franchise. If he's involved, I'm interested in if there are more adventures and more films and more series featuring him. I'm okay. That shows how great Broly is. He makes everything I can't stand about Dragon Ball Z tolerable. Frieza being alive, Goku and Vegeta still being the main characters, and still being the Goku and Vegeta show, where no one else gets to shine or do anything. Um, um, yeah. But despite how great this movie was, this movie has a bunch of sins. The first sin is the quote-unquote animation. The animation is atrocious. The visuals and special effects are great, especially Broly. The entire budget went to Broly and the fight scenes, but the animation and artwork it's just terrible. Especially when you look at it in several scenes. The animation is laughingly bad. It's quote unquote laughingly bad. Actually, everyone with the exception of Broly, Gogeta, and Paragus looks weird. Broly, Vegeta, and I guess Piccolo looks kind of weird. And what's his name? There's a scene where Vegeta and Goku are trying to fuse, quote unquote trying to fuse, and Vegeta is doing the poses, and it's just laughingly bad. It's not bad because Vegeta is doing childish things. It's laughingly bad because of how terrible the animation is in that scene. And that's that's some of the worst animation of all time. Let me tell you something. The original Broly movie, which was much better than this movie, in my opinion. This movie has a better Broly, but the original Broly movie was a much better film overall. That film, which was from 1993 and early 2000s, in my opinion, had better animation and better artwork. This has better visuals and special effects and better have this is a late 2010s film, whereas the other one's a 90s 2000s based movie. 2000s based movie. Yeah. Yeah. So that was the first problem. The second problem, of course, that was the first problem. The second problem is plot holes. If I'm Goku and Vegeta or bash the other Z fighters for this, and I gotta bash Broly too. I was this Broly who has no fighting experience. The only fighting experience he has is fighting. I think Champa. I think that's not Champa, but the fur monster he fought on the planet he was on the planet he was on. It's not Champa, it's someone else, but I don't remember his name. It really doesn't matter. But that furry monster, Bamber, I think that's his name, Bamber. That furry monster he fought. That's the only form of fighting he's had, fighting that monster. How does that prepare him for two Super Saiyan gods, Vegeta and Goku, two experienced Super Saiyan gods. First off, it's a joke that took Vegeta and Goku go up to Super Saiyan Blue and Red to even defeat Broly, to even build a match Broly. But how is Broly able to stand up to them without being vaporized by any of their ki blasts? And it just makes Goku and Vegeta look lame. This is Goku and Vegeta's best showing and best fights in a long time. But it's another poor showing. Goku and Vegeta all this power and they still lose. It took Gogeta, them fusing. The only thing cool about Goku and Vegeta, they can easily become Gogeta and Vegeta fighting Broly to finally be able to finally overwhelm and nearly kill him if it wasn't for Shirai wishing him off the planet and back to his planet. What else about this film? That was the second problem. Plot holes, inconsistency. Oh yeah, and Frieza. In one of my favorite scenes, Broly beating up Frieza. Frieza, once again, who couldn't beat Super Saiyan 1, can train off screen with a Frieza soldier and obtain a power source that's higher than all of the Super Saiyan forms, all of the Ascended Super Saiyan forms, 3 and Mystic, and he was able to survive against Broly. Broly in this film. I didn't like that part either. And those are and the biggest sin. This right here is an anime movie. This is not a live action film. This film only has about 6 characters on screen at one time. Once again, this is an anime film. You should be able to. This is animation. You should be able to have more characters. Have the budget for more characters. This is not a live action film. The original Broly from the 90s and 2000s, that Broly movie, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, had more characters. Had quote unquote more characters in this in that film. Where was Gohan? Gotenks, Piccolo was regulated to a cameo appearance. Didn't do anything in this film. Piccolo, the Kais, Supreme Kai, Miguel, Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Roshi, yes, what were the rest of the DBZ cast? I know the other characters like Jiren and Kabah, they can't be here because that was an alternate dimension. I would have loved to have seen them here, but they can't be here because that's an alternate dimension. But yeah. So yeah, not enough characters, not enough quote unquote characters. So yeah, but other than that, let's get back to the positives. The positives, the action, and yeah, my favorite scenes. My favorite scenes are number one, Gogeta versus Broly, two of the most powerful characters engaging in the biggest, most explosive fight I've ever seen in Dragon Ball. I've ever seen in Dragon Ball. That scene followed by Broly beating the living daylights out of Frieza, which was good. I rooted for Broly this entire film. Rooted for Broly this entire film. I hate Frieza, and I hate the fact that he's still present in the franchise. So I was happy to see Broly beat the living daylights out of him. But it was a joke that Frieza lasted against him. This was the Broly from the original timeline, from the other alternate timeline. Frieza would have been crying. Frieza would have been crying. He would not have had a body left. So yeah, and of course, while I thought the Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, was way better than this movie, this movie gave us a much better Broly. This Broly is more of a is mostly a silent, articulate, antisocial, non-social, non-social, anti-hero in contrast to the psychopath and brute of the original timeline. And this Broly has much more of a better motivation, and obviously much better motivation for fighting than the Broly from the legendary Super Saiyan did. They were able to give Broly a much better motivation here. And last but not least, this Broly is canon to the main timeline. This Broly is canon to the main timeline. So these were the pluses of this movie. Other things were the soundtrack. I love the outro theme that plays at the end. I don't remember what it was called. The Kakarot theme you're hearing in the background right now. The other Goku theme that plays when he's meeting Broly on his planet, on his home planet at the last in the last scene, and of course the upgraded Head Chala song when after the introductions of Nappa, after the reintroductions of Broly, Darius, the Frieza Force, King Vegeta, Ginyu Force, Nappa, Raditz, and young Vegeta. When it cuts to Goku and Vegeta, modern day Goku and Vegeta, you hear Head Chala, the newly updated Head Chala thing. I also enjoy the cameos of past DBZ villains and characters like the Ginyu Force, Zarbon, Midoriya, Nappa, Raditz, and everyone else, including Bardock. Even though Bardock, that was another problem, he was mostly out of character here. He was acting like Jor-El from Superman. That wasn't Bardock. That wasn't Bardock. But it was good seeing all those characters. And I was wondering, when I saw them in the casting choices, I was wondering what kind of role they were going to have in this movie. Like, how they going to be alive? But no, it was all flashbacks. So, yeah, that was quote unquote Super Broly. Well, this has been my review of Dragon Ball Z Super Broly. A full-length rant is coming next. So get ready to hear the rest of the music and the video. Turn the video off right now.